Wave after wave of severe weather impacting the Bluegrass State. The very latest on a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day is next.
Lexington first responders are mourning a firefighter and a police detective who both died after battling cancer. What city leaders are saying about them.
It looks like water rates in Lexington will be going up, but the increase isn't as much as Kentucky American wanted.
WKYT News starts now with First Alert Weather.
Good evening to you. Tonight we are tracking storms across parts of Kentucky, and it is a sign of what is to come over the next few days.
It is a WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Waves of storms the rest of the week could cause some problems. We begin tonight with our chief meteorologist, Chris Bailey.
Yeah, the first wave mainly impacting areas of southern Kentucky. Had an earlier line of thunderstorms, northern parts of the area that just all of a sudden fell apart as the storms to the south decided they wanted to become the bigger of the two complexes we were tracking. Severe thunderstorm watch, as we expected a little bit ago, has been whittled away. Only a handful of counties currently under that watch now until 10 o'clock this evening, and those will go by the wayside very shortly. Look at southern Kentucky, though. Severe thunderstorm warning is still out for a couple of areas here. You get into sections of Russell County, severe thunderstorm warning that extends back into sections of the Albany area, Clinton, Cumberland counties, and then eastward we go into Wayne County and into Pulaski County. Severe thunderstorm warning until 6:15. Russell Springs, Lake Cumberland, worst of the weather is now off just to our east. We're talking about the Gregory area up along Highway 90, east of Mill Springs, up into Burnside, and right on top of 27 as it makes its way out of Somerset and into sections of McCreary County. That's the strongest storm that we're seeing, and likely to get some winds that may be gusting around 50 miles per hour with a lot of heavy rain that can cause some quick rises on smaller creeks and streams. London, maybe a lot of this just off to our south. I think Corbin into Williamsburg will see the lion's share of that, but look at the rain still to come through as we go through the next several hours across southern parts of Kentucky. Worst of the weather is right on top of the Tennessee border and into parts of the Volunteer State. But overall, over the next few days, we're going to track additional thunderstorms in from the northwest. New hour by hour, guys, firing up those bigger clusters over the next 48 hours when we come back in a little over 10 minutes.
Thanks, Chris. And remember, you can track storms when you're away from the TV with the WKYT Weather Plus Traffic app. You can download it for free in the app or Google Play stores. Now to some breaking news we're tracking in Lexington tonight. Police are still trying to figure out what led up to a shooting that sent one man to the hospital.
But they say they've made an arrest in the case. Police say the victim was shot near the intersection of Appian Way and Armstrong Mill Road, but they found him a little more than a mile away on Buckhorn Drive. Victor Puente is live with the breaking details. Victor, what can you tell us?
Well, Lexington police say they believe this shooting was the result of an ongoing argument that came to a head about 3 hours ago. A witness said they saw a car stopped on Appian Way around 3:15 when another vehicle pulled up behind them. The driver got out, went up to the passenger side, and started firing. The man who was shot is expected to survive, but police say he's being uncooperative. They also say the shooter has been very cooperative, leading them to the creek bed where he threw the gun that was used in the shooting. They say they arrested Michael Good after searching his girlfriend's apartment. A witness who knows Good led police to that apartment. Another witness said there were multiple people in the car those shots were fired into.
There was 3 people that I saw in there, and one little kid was in the back seat. He jumped out and took off running, and the driver of the other car fired, I think it was 5 shots into the passenger side of the car.
Good has been taken to police headquarters for questioning. They haven't said yet what charges he'll be facing. Live in Lexington, Victor Puente, WKYT.
It has been a sad day for Lexington first responders. Tonight they are remembering a firefighter and a police detective who both died from cancer just hours apart.
In the last few months, the community has really rallied around firefighter Matt Logston and police detective Philip Harrison as they battled cancer. Sean Moody shows us how friends are paying tribute to them. It's our top story at 6.
Just a terribly difficult day for Lexington's first responder community. Both men, diagnosed earlier this year, died within hours of each other.
You can't really prepare for a day like this one.
I've been here for 26 years, and I can't recall a time in my career that we've dealt with two tremendous losses like this on the same day.
Police officers and firefighters often show up to the same scenes, so they tend to have friends in both departments.
It's a big hit in public safety today.
While firefighter Matt Logston traveled back and forth to Chicago for treatment earlier this year, fellow firefighters covered his shift, making sure he still got paid. Back in February, he told us how overwhelmed he was by the community.
It's surprising, it's shocking, it's humbling. All this stuff, you know, dealing with stage 4 cancer is obviously terrible, but at the same time, you know, it's been amazing.
Detective Philip Harrison died right around the same time as Logston this morning. Throughout his cancer battle, fellow officer and friend Sergeant Billy Richmond said his focus was on his family.
The most important thing in Philip's life, though, was his daughter. He had great love for his daughter, and even through illness, his biggest concern was for that of his daughter's well-being and future, and for his wife.
Harrison's funeral will be Friday at Southland Christian Church. Logston's arrangements are still pending. In Lexington, Sean Moody, WKYT.
And there is a golf scramble coming up later this month to raise money for Logston's family. We have information about that and an online fundraiser at WKYT.com.
New tonight, a small Perry County city has lost its only police car because of a fire. Investigators say the fire destroyed the car along Main Street in Vicco over the weekend. The car used to belong to the Vicco police chief, but since the city doesn't currently have a chief, investigators say the car had been parked on the street for about a year. At this point, investigators aren't sure what caused that fire. Next month marks 10 years since the deadly crash of Comair Flight 5191 near Bluegrass Airport. And tonight we have learned a memorial service has been planned to remember the 49 people who died in the crash. The service will be held on Saturday, August 27th, which is the 10th anniversary of the crash. It will begin at 10 that morning at the UK Arboretum. The service will be open to the public. A permanent memorial to the victims was built at the Arboretum.
Kentucky American Water customers will soon see more expensive water bills. Water rates will go up about 7.5% under an agreement between the city and the water company. Our investigative team has been following Kentucky American Water's proposed hike for months. Investigative reporter Miranda Combs joins us now from the live desk with what they had originally asked the city for. Miranda?
Sam, when we first started looking into the rate increase, Kentucky American Water wanted 17% of an increase, so they ended up settling with less than half of that at 7.5. In our investigation from March of this year, we found that their initial proposal would have put the water company among the top 30 most expensive taps in the country. They already ranked pretty high. We found that one watchdog group ranked them 69th out of 500 public and private utility companies nationwide when looking at average bills from 2015. At the time, Kentucky American spokesperson told us the rate increases needed to help with a $79 million investment into various improvement projects, including a $15 million water filtration building on Richmond Road. The city opposed the initial 17% rate increase, but settled on 7.5%, saying it was the best deal they could get. Now, the Public Service Commission still has to approve the reduced rate increase, and they also have the final say on when the water rates will actually take effect. At the live desk, Miranda Combs, WKYT.
And how much your water bill goes up will depend on your water usage, but the city says the average bill for a Kentucky American customer will go up about $3.
It was a disturbing discovery. Investigators say more than 40 horses were abandoned on a Mercer County farm, and some of them were in pretty bad shape. The community has since stepped up to help them, but some say cases like this show the need for tougher laws in Kentucky to protect animals. Hillary Thornton has the story new at 6.
Well, if you look real close in her eyes, you can see that she's got life. She's happy. She knows that she's been redeemed.
This is just one of the 43 horses found abandoned on a Mercer County farm. Angie Cheek, one of the volunteers working tirelessly caring for them. Work paying off, this horse already gaining around 150 pounds.
We're starting to look like a thoroughbred should look. So you can tell in their eyes, then you can begin to tell in their skin and their hair, and they're getting not just the right protocol with food and meds, but they're getting that daily love.
And Cheek says all of that progress being made here at this Mercer County farm is thanks to the outpouring of support and generosity
from those who were concerned about these dozens of horses.
We have not asked and had one request that hasn't been met in the last 2 weeks, which is phenomenal.
Charles Burrell facing 43 counts of animal cruelty for the mistreatment of the horses in Kentucky. Those 43 counts are all misdemeanors.
You can kill a horse, dispose of its carcass, and you're dealing with a misdemeanor. And we're the bluegrass state, and we rank 50th. I'm not proud of the laws of this state, but I'm proud of our industry, and I'm proud to say I'm a Kentuckian because we stepped up.
This case and giving advocates of changing those laws a strong rallying point.
When we can change some laws, then it will have been worth every minute that we've spent. They give us everything. The least we can do is give them back the sparkle in their eye and a chance at a life. They didn't have that when we started this.
In Mercer County,
we give these horses, they give us back 50 times more than we could ever give.
Hillary Thornton, WKYT.
Well, investigators are still looking for Burrell's daughter, Maria, who is facing the same charges.
A southern Kentucky woman says she caught a robber red-handed at her fireworks stand, but the crime took a violent turn. That's in 8 minutes.
And then why Lexington city leaders say they've had to close one of the city's pools until further notice.
Round number 1 of what is expected to be several rounds of strong and severe thunderstorms blasting parts of southern Kentucky. Now up next, we'll track additional rounds into where you live. Hour-by-hour forecast is after the break. WKYT First Alert Severe Weather Day. Thunderstorms across southern Kentucky continue to soak up all the energy. So storms that were blowing up across the Lexington area earlier going by the wayside as the storms in the south robbed all the energy. 82 Lexington, though it is humid. Look at that, 71% humidity. Strong and severe thunderstorms across southern parts of Kentucky. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning we'll get to in just a second. Here's the severe thunderstorm warning that will expire in just a matter of minutes for parts of Pulaski and Wayne counties. Strongest part of this storm is now well to our east. Still some thunder and lightning, heavy rain, Somerset, Burnside. But again, it's over toward the Mount Victory area and into parts of Laurel County where we're getting in on the strongest storms. Now, literally, just as we're coming on the air, new severe thunderstorm warning for part of Whitley County. That includes Williamsburg. This includes Barberville into Knox County and into parts of Bell County as well with that newly issued severe thunderstorm warning. So that is a leading edge of that thunderstorm complex. You've got another strong thunderstorm that is on top of Harlan County as well. Overall, across parts of central Kentucky, still dealing with a lot of showers and some thunderstorms that are out there. And especially, you get into sections of I-65 where we've had some wind damage. We're getting in still on torrential rains. But look at this big thunderstorm complex that continues to make its way across southern Kentucky into northern parts of Tennessee. That's the first of what may be several complexes of thunderstorms that will work their way in from the northwest and even, at least short term, from the west. Little spin with this thunderstorm complex showing up into Missouri. So leading edge of this dissipates a little bit. Watch what happens. We get into midnight, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. All of a sudden, that spin tries to fire up another little round of some thunderstorms deeper into the overnight. The trend, though, continues to be for one that will bring those rounds of maybe damaging wind-producing storms in from northwest to southeast as we make our way into tonight and certainly into the day tomorrow. That future hour-by-hour forecast through 11 this evening. This is a different model, but it is doing the exact same thing as that short-term model is doing in blowing up another complex of storms across southern parts of Kentucky. We go into tomorrow afternoon. You get outside of a thunderstorm, look out. We'll hit 90. Humidity is off the charts. It'll feel like it's mid and maybe an upper 90 if you get enough sunshine. Then tomorrow night, starting now to pick up on a pretty good signal for a big cluster of thunderstorms to go up into the western part of the Ohio Valley, maybe the western Great Lakes, the Midwest. That will try to dive toward the southeast into the bluegrass state late tomorrow night and maybe early Friday morning. And if that is the case, that would have a damaging wind threat with it. Behind that, cold front is still off to our north. Friday's temperatures can hit the low and mid-90s. If you can catch some breaks in there, if that happens, we should fire up another healthy line of storms somewhere across the area as we go into our Friday evening. And those can have some damaging winds again. So you're getting the overall idea. It's not going to be constant, not going to rain all the time everywhere. Some areas will get hit harder than other areas, but at times over the next few days, those waves of thunderstorms will roll on into town. At least they give us Saturday. Saturday's a nice day at 84 degrees, some sunshine around. Humidity levels will come down so you can step outside and breathe a little bit. Early next week, let's crank up some humidity again and the threat for a thunderstorm or two during that time. But again, targeting southern Kentucky over the next hour and change for still some severe weather. Right now, new severe thunderstorm warning, Bell, Knox, and Whitley counties.
We know you are watching it closely.
We will be here.
Okay.
Tonight, a man faces charges after a violent robbery at a Laurel County fireworks stand.
The Laurel County Sheriff's Office says that Daniel Bennett was trying to steal hundreds of dollars worth of fireworks overnight from a tent outside the Bait Bucket in Corbin. But the store's owner says some people nearby saw it and called her. When she showed up, she says Bennett became violent.
I grabbed a hold of his car, and of course he forcefully got away from me.
Did he actually drag you?
Yeah, I had a hold of his car as he was pulling out onto the road.
She says she was not injured. Deputies say they soon showed up and arrested Bennett. They say he even tried to kick one of them. Bennett did not want to talk to us from jail today. Criminal records show he has faced many theft charges before.
New tonight, a Lexington City pool has been closed for repair. City leaders say crews are fixing a plumbing and mechanical issue at the Douglas pool. They say water has been shut off to the facility and both the bathrooms and showers cannot be used for now. City leaders say they'll reopen the Douglas pool as soon as possible, but they're not sure how long the repairs will take.
The Ark Encounter in Grant County officially opens tomorrow. The park features a replica of Noah's Ark, and the group behind it, Answers in Genesis, thinks that 2 million people will visit during that first year. But for some, the park has sparked a debate about the separation of church and state. CBS correspondent Mark Strassman talked to people on both sides, and you'll see his story on the CBS Evening News coming up at 6:30.
Racing begins tomorrow night at the Kentucky Speedway.
And the truck race is first. We will hear from one of the youngest drivers, a native Kentuckian, and Trey Lyles, really standing out of the NBA Summer League. His coach talks about him next in sports. After being introduced last week, Jamal Murray is now settling in with the Denver Nuggets. But the Nuggets could also have their sights set on Dwayne Wade. Wade is a free agent. He has been with the Heat his entire career. He wants $50 to $60 million. And if Denver could land him, Murray would love it.
You know, I watched him growing up, watched him go against LeBron, I watched him go against Chris Paul, those guys. So he's been around for a while and kind of know his game, know what he likes. And I think, Moody kind of plays like him. So, I mean, it'd be great if he came here. It'd be cool.
Former Wildcat Trey Lyles really standing out in the NBA's Utah Summer League last night against Boston. Now, the Jazz lost to the Celtics, but Lyles showed every aspect of his game, scoring 26 points, pulling down 11 boards. Lyles heading into his second year in the league. Coach Quinn Snyder says he was a player who wants to get better.
He's a good example of a player that has been committed to improving, has been willing when he gets knocked back, which this league will do to you, especially if you're 19, to kind of look at it and say, I need to be better. I think he's focused on the right things, mainly playing defense. And we feel like he can be a playmaking four. He came into his own a little bit shooting the ball, and that's something he's worked on. But there's a difference just between being a shooter and a player, and it's something we talk about a lot. So we're going to try to let him do that in the Summer League.
NASCAR returning to Kentucky Speedway this weekend, and the racing gets underway Thursday with the Camping World Truck Series. Louisville native Ben Rhodes will be behind the wheel of the number 41 Toyota Tundra. Rhodes out of Holy Cross High School in 2015, so at the age of 19, he is one of the youngest drivers in NASCAR. He's beginning his first full season in the Truck Series. He says winning in his home state and his home state track would be a dream come true.
To be able to share it with my friends and family, this is really my only track that I get to share this with them and what I do and what I want to do with my life. So when they can come out here and kind of experience with me, that's a special feeling. But if we could get the win, Kentucky Speedway better be ready, because they need to try to hold the fence back, because I'm sure they're going to try to rush it. I used to drive past this track when I was younger going to go-kart races, and it was just my dream to always race here, to race in NASCAR. I never thought I'd be here. It's what dreams are made of.
And men's quarterfinals at Wimbledon, Roger Federer against Marin Cilic. Federer lost the first two sets, and he was down love 40 at 3-all in the third, but came back, and he saved 3 match points in the fourth set and managed to rally. Federer eventually emerging in 5 sets, winning 6-7, 4-6, 6-3, 7-6, 6-3, his 10th career comeback from a 2-set hole. Federer is bidding for a record 8th Wimbledon title. He is in the semis now for the 11th time. He will play Andy Murray in the semifinals. Sam Amber, back to you.
A final check of your first alert forecast is next.
Then on the CBS Evening News, more details on why the government is recalling more than 500,000 hoverboards. Relatively quiet right here now. Our folks to the south, though, seeing a lot of activity.
Yeah, not so quiet a few miles south of here. Look at southern Kentucky and all the shower and thunderstorm action that continues to work its way toward the east. Leading edge of that line is intensifying yet again right on top of Interstate 75 from southern Rockcastle County through Laurel County. That's a severe thunderstorm warning. Bell, Knox, and Whitley. That'll go until the top of the hour of 7 o'clock. That storm is showing a little signature for potentially some damaging winds as it crosses out of Whitley County into southern parts of Knox County. Folks in the Pineville area, keep an eye out. That storm is working your way. And again, those thunderstorms extending a little farther to the north along Interstate 75. Guys, first of many rounds to impact the region over the next few days.
And once again, a story on the Ark Encounter on CBS News coming up your way next.
We will see you back here tonight at 11. Have a good one.